23. How many times are you going to accidentally write on a check, on a memo?
22.
20. Wait a minute. Do you write checks still?
Yeah, I still write 21.
I feel like you guys write. I feel like you guys write a lot of checks here at community newspapers.
Too many.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and the best holiday is from what movie? Show?
Seinfeld.
What movie? What is it?
Festivus.
Right. So
You're not going to get that past me, my friend.
Okay, let's talk about something important.
You don't think all the different holidays we just ate our way through?
No.
I saw a great meme today that said, I'm going to lose weight in 2023. So I went and I emptied all of my cabinets of all the bad food, and boy, was it delicious.
So my goal
Yeah.
is not to lose weight.
Okay. Firm up.
Not to exercise.
Tone up.
Is to drink at least 50 ounces to 100 ounces of water a day.
So let's just talk about that in its most practical approach. Because when I arrived today, as Alex always does, he makes sure I have...
Alex, you're the best.
I have water.
What kind of doctor's your doctor?
But you have literally taken it down to 8 fluid ounces.
Well, because nobody drinks the whole bottle, and then we wait. So that's my goal.
So if you're going to drink 50, do a little math problem.
No, my bottle, I have a bottle of 50.
Of 50 ounces.
Yes.
Okay, how many of these would you need?
6 of them, 6.5.
That's exactly.
Six and a quarter.
You're
Now,
good at math. Did you go to Palmetto?
Barely. So I'm supposed to drink 100 ounces, but I want to get to 50 first.
Do you feel bloated at 100?
I haven't got there. I'm doing 50 a day. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about the major subject right now, the Buffalo-Cincinnati game. My gut feeling is, despite what the NFL said, the Buffalo coach says, we're not playing. You can do whatever you want. We're not playing. That's what I believe. NFL says, well, we made a decision. No, I think there's coaches.
Well, I will tell you that, much like a lot of people, I was glued to the TV. I didn't fall asleep till after 4 a.m. And at that point, we knew there'd been a cardiac event and that he had been revived on the field before they transported him.
Yeah.
It's weird to have a bunch of doctors who are observing footage, who obviously aren't his doctor, but giving you sort of their theories. And I tell you, I'm like this. Tell me more.
The ESPN announcers, there's a tall, bald guy, and then there's a short, athletic one who played at LSU.
What about Scott Van Pelt?
Yeah. No, Scott Van Pelt, and the other one was
Carl.
Ryan.
I don't know his last name.
So he was so emotional when he was talking.
Well, so what happened was, I was watching. I had gotten up to go to the bathroom. I'm embarrassed to tell you.
Do we really need to hear?
I was flipping back and forth between the game and the movie Titanic. Because, whenever Titanic's on.
It's not like you can't buy the tape.
It's not like I can't watch it on demand, but having to be on. So I'm like, oh, this is the really good part, the favorite part, which is, all the water and the ending and having read all those stories about James Cameron and how they did the movie set. And anyway, when I came back, they said, we'll be right back. So I went back to Titanic. When I came back, they said the game had been in a delay, and at first it looked like, a player had been injured and they were, waiting to bring out the cart, which is what typically happens. Player gives you the thumbs up. I'm good. I'm in pain, but I'm awake. I'm conscious. I'm alive. And then all of a sudden I realized, boy, this has been 30 minutes. What's going on? And at that point, then, you don't usually see an ambulance on the field either.
That's what they said. They said almost never has an ambulance come on the field.
They'll take the cart to an ambulance.
Right.
But, I think what is remarkable is that, like anything, whether it's, a sports story that then becomes a news story, you're throwing it to anchors who, are going to be asked to speak about something they saw on film or on a feed. They're not in the arena, if you will.
And they're not. They're
Susie
usually
Colbert was really having a struggle. Adam Schefter. These are great anchors. Booger McFarland were the first 3.
But they read a script. Now they have to really.
And they're like, what are you thinking right now? And you hear Booger McFarland, who's the only one of those 3, obviously, who ever played the game, basically say, I've never been in a situation where an ambulance came out onto the field. And then that turned into let's go back to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, who were at the game.
Troy Aikman was good.
And they said they really couldn't see because you know what the players did? They created a human shield.
Right. It was beautiful. Pretty emotional.
Very emotional.
Both teams were crying.
Yeah.
And pretty impressive. And unfortunately, most of these people, players, from the age of 4 and 5, that's their life. And
it's their goal.
The goal is to play the big boys.
Yeah.
And a lot of them make it for 1 or 2 years, don't make any money.
1,600 people are in the league at any given time. How many are playing in colleges? Thousands.
But
how many have played over a generation? Hundreds of thousands.
But one of the ESPN people said, no, I was at LSU as a freshman, and somebody tore their ACL right in the middle field. You know what the coach said? Move over, play ball.
He called him out, by the way. Jerry DiNardo.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Said run the next play. He told the player, run the next play. He's like, they literally moved the guy off onto the white sidelines.
But he said that was almost acceptable because that's a normal injury.
We used to send guys back in with concussions up until just a couple years ago when we knew they were concussed.
Correct.
You know, we knew that.
Well, according to
so we learned about CTE, which is a post-mortem diagnosis.
Right. Some of these athletes don't know they had damage until it's too late.
I mean, I worry about a guy like a Tua who's had how many concussions
He
already?
Might be done.
How many concussions has that young man had?
3 this year.
2 and plus this season.
Didn't he have 3?
I don't know about before. Yeah, one was, maybe
have you ever had a concussion?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I never played a contact sport. I played soccer. I swam. Aren't really high contact. And when I played soccer, I just did a whole lot of hanging out in the back. I was like a fullback.
Okay, I've had a couple, and you don't know they're concussions, but
what do you think it is?
No, at the time you don't. Your brains hear it, but you could feel your skull's here, and you can feel your brain juggling.
Really?
And I don't remember if it was football or
some sport.
Some sport. Maybe
it's scary.
Maybe my brother beat me up.
Well, I mean, that could have happened last week. But I know that when the two of you fight, you always have the same rules. Don't hit the moneymaker.
That's right. Don't hit the moneymaker.
Below the neck.
Okay, so
you're not using any other part of your body.
Yeah. So pretty emotional and heads.
Still emotional. Yeah. I mean, it's all people are talking about. It's what we talked about this morning at breakfast.
What breakfast?
Talked about we have a new employee, so we had a little breakfast at the office.
Oh, she answered the phone. New receptionist?
She does.
She did a great job.
Genesis Del Toro.
Welcome to Coral Gables Chamber.
Welcome, Genesis. So we are full complement of staff, and she's getting trained today.
Who's training her?
The rest of the week. Devin's doing her direct training, and then she's going to have time with each one of our staff.
So still emotional to me. And the players, it was really emotional. And then Cincinnati really joined in. They felt it.
There's a great bit of video, which is, there's no privacy.
Right.
He's in tight on the Buffalo quarterback.
Josh Allen and Burrows.
And right over his shoulder, really consoling him is Joe Burrows.
Beautiful.
And you think to yourself, it's like, this game, by the way, had more meaning than probably almost any game that's been played all year.
And
it's not only important to those two teams, but it's a domino effect. It's important to Kansas City. By the way, it's important to the Dolphins. Dolphins need, the Bills to keep on winning.
Right. So
and create that, separation, and then ultimately, beat the Patriots this weekend.
It is you really realize how close these guys are. There's 53 people, 65 total. They spent 2 years together. It's a brotherhood. So
one of the people who they interviewed who had lived in Buffalo, played for the Bills for a number of years, said, one of the reasons that team, Buffalo teams,
right,
are so tight is that there's nothing to do in Buffalo. I mean, they took a little bit of a shot at Buffalo, but they said because of that, these guys all hang out. So on their days off, their evenings, their weekends, especially the young guys. This guy's 24, not married. His mama was at the game with him and family. He went to the game with her. They rode to the game. He didn't go on the team bus. He got permission, I guess, with the Bills team to go over to the the ballpark with her.
That's unbelievable.
It's all those little pieces, and I think it helps. People are emotional at different levels. I think I'm a pretty emotional person, especially when I think about the what ifs. And there you are.
And the Buffalo's winning. When you're losing, team's not tight. But when you're winning, everybody's talking to each other. So, all right, let's move on to something else. How they recap. I want to hear about your.
Yeah, I want to hear about your. We talked several times.
I'm not like
always, you'd always be like, "How's it going?
Wait.
What are you doing?
Let's clarify something. I'm not like that hoodlum-a-doodle who disappears on you for 2 weeks. Hoodlum-a-doodle.
Marco.
I didn't say his name.
It was a little more than a week, but he's busy. He's busy eating boogers and smelling frozen farts. That's what I.
Where was he? In St. Louis?
St. Louis.
Of course.
That's when everything's frozen.
Yes.
Frozen boogers.
Wow. Okay. Recap your New Year's. You hung out at home.
Yeah, I ended up being at home.
You had a huge party to go to.
Did.
I could have been your +1.
+2.
Why?
I don't know. Because I found out that Linda Carter was there. Wonder.
This year, she was Wonder Woman was there?
Yeah, she wasn't in her uniform or anything.
Doesn't matter.
She would have been my +1.
That's my crush.
Yeah, Linda Carter.
Yeah.
What'd you like about her?
Everything. Wonder Woman.
I don't think that's the theme song, but that's all right.
Oh.
What do we know about Wonder Woman?
Nothing.
What's her most significant power?
I don't remember.
She can go invisible. Remember, she could fly an invisible jet.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you got a good memory. That was your heyday.
Well, it wasn't that much my heyday, but, I'd get home from school, and I'd have about an hour and a half before my sister got home from elementary school or my mom got home from work.
Teaching.
She was teacher as well.
All right.
And I would eat like I hadn't eaten all day.
Really?
Yeah.
We can't tell.
And then
can't tell.
I'd watch TV,
At your age, you
as
just
long
came
as
home.
I could,
Nobody went to the house. You just
I
showed
wore a key around my neck on a white shoestring that by this time of the year would be pretty gross and dark and sweaty.
Isn't it interesting?
I was a latchkey kid, as we were called. We don't call them that anymore. But.
All right. Resolution. My resolution
Yeah.
is to drink 50 to 100 ounces of water a day. That's my only resolution. Not to work out any harder. Not to
How
do
are we
that.
doing with the water intake today?
Well, Monday I did 60 ounces. Today I'm at 45 ounces. I'm going to finish it.
Are you peeing more?
Really?
I'm assuming.
Holy cow. Peeing more?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
So you're flushing the fluids. Are you giving up any other type of fluid? Like no soda? Or...
Oh, I never drank soda.
Okay.
I gave up ice cream for one. No, I didn't.
Well, our last show of last year, you were doing your best to give up ice cream.
I'm trying my hardest. It's very difficult. Today, no, I didn't give up ice cream yet, but I'm trying. More important is just drink more fluids.
Yeah, I don't want our friends at Walls to go out of business because you've suddenly decided that you are going to give up.
Okay, so give me one of your resolutions.
So I had a little bit of a struggle between kind of Christmas and New Year's, and mostly it was just that sort of typical soul searching that a lot of people do. I certainly do for the holidays. I got to see family and I got to see friends. But what I realized was there's a lot of things that I say yes to that I don't want to say yes to anymore. And so I'm going to work on that. I'm really bad at saying no. So one of the things I'm going to do is, before I used to say yes to everything. You invited me to an event, you invited, all these other activities. And so now what I'm going to do every Monday, starting next Monday,
right,
is review my schedule for the week, especially like evenings and activities. And I'm going to pick one maybe it's a ribbon cutting, maybe it's an event, something beyond what we're doing as a chamber. And then I'm going to farm out the other activities to my staff. One, it gives them an opportunity to be in an elevated opportunity and be representing the chamber, not just myself. And then secondly, I think it's going to decrease what is a very, out of cycle burnout feeling. So that's kind of one of the plans. So, I'm still, very involved in my, physical fitness routine, although that, picks up again here. I want to thank Omar for his patience. I did a number on myself right before Thanksgiving. You might remember I took a little tumble down the front stairs, and
who were you chasing?
A little time to. I was chasing myself. I was going out to get my turkey trot shirt that I wanted to wear to the turkey trot the next day.
Gotcha.
I slipped, so it took me a little longer to recover from that. I hit my back and and everything. So,
well,
to George's point, and Happy New Year to you, George. I'm very bad at balance, and so
well, we have some comments.
Going to work better.
We have comments from girls. We're deleting that, but Gloria says great discussion.
She also thinks our sound is a little off.
It's fine. Her hearing was off.
Oh gosh, okay. Gloria,
okay. And
she hears great.
Jeff Garcia, over under how many concussions Grant had? That is a good question. I am a living concussion.
I worry about that with you.
I think that I have a lot of damage up there. I think I had a bunch of strokes, concussions, but we're all good. Okay.
How's your memory?
What's
today? Like your memory is very good. What do you think's better, your short-term or your long-term memory?
Long-term.
Me too.
I can remember. How about this? I was talking to somebody from 1967. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was in 4th grade. I was talking to them.
-1. -1 years old in 67. You were what? 4th grade?
4th grade.
10, 11.
I can remember all that stuff. Okay. Exciting. Tomorrow is Reconnect. No, not tomorrow's Reconnect. Yes.
Tomorrow, yeah, because we were off on Monday. Tomorrow.
Got my cameraman going.
Yeah, Reconnect is always a lovely event. It's a partnership that we have, of course, with
Morton's.
Our friends at Morton's and Elizabeth.
Are you sold out?
I know that they told me this morning we were at 51.
That's great.
55 is our sellout.
And who's speaking tomorrow?
Ooh, that's a good question. Don't recall. Maybe somebody can help me out from the home office on that.
The home office, I like that. And then tomorrow night we have
our first Wine Down Wednesday of the year over at Bay 13.
Wine, W-I-N.
W-I-N-D, wine.
Oh, not E. Okay.
Down.
Okay.
We have someone in our office that always says wine, and I have to correct them.
It's Morgan.
Oh, no. Morgan
Morgan
always gets it right. I think she corrects you
all the time.
You get it
Bay
wrong.
13, great owners.
Great owners, great community folks, great partners, and
then the following week you have another event.
Got a lot going on.
Right, you got like 6 events going on in January.
The following week is our is our New Year's event.
New Year's.
So staff and I met this morning.
Why wasn't I invited? Because I am a major part of the entertainment there.
At the New Year's event?
Should I wear my Santa outfit there?
No. You think you want to reprise? I don't know if there's enough room. We get 300 people that come to that.
It is.
So we're, about 10 days out, and we've already got about 150 or so RSVPs. Okay. So
not to boost it, but that
is your tickets now because it closes off at 300.
That event alone might be one of the best, if not the number 1 or number 2 event in Dade County. Of all business organizations.
Gosh, you're really kind about that. I think it's a terrific event. We haven't done it in 3 years.
Yeah, but I go to a lot of events, indoor, outdoor. You don't know where you are because it's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. We're honoring Sylvester on the occasion of their 50th anniversary, so there's a little bit of a nice backstory. We have a live band. We've never done that before. We have a great number of restaurants that are coming out.
Come on, name some of them.
Oh, we've got Elizabeth Silverman with Lovables.
Desserts or food?
She's doing a little bit of both.
Okay.
Catering by Les.
Of course.
We all love and know. Les has been with us a number of years. We've got...
you got Cuban coffee. You got a bar?
We do. We have a wine bar. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I know they told me that this morning. We're still looking for, let's say, 4 more restaurants to kind of close out our capacity. So
Again, it is whether it rain, snows, beautiful weather, not but it's
not
so
going to snow.
it's beautiful up there, right?
It is, and I think one year it won't happen this year because the full moon's a little off cycle. But one year we had a gorgeous, cool, breezy night with a full moon. And you literally could look into the sky, and it just reminded you how magnificent, our lives are, our planet is. The people we're connected to and associated with, the friendships. For a lot of people, when we get together on the 12th, they won't have seen a lot of their friends and colleagues in, maybe 6 weeks, maybe longer. And so it's a great way to kind of get back in the swing of things. Our theme is, back to business. But we're just doing it a little bit different. And I want to thank Myrna Vaca.
Who's that?
Myrna's on our board.
The
She's
UM
with
lady.
U Health. She's our host.
She got 2 or 3 kids.
She has 2 little boys.
She's like right away.
She's spectacular. And brought the live music. We're going to have an awesome photo booth, which is going to be a 360
Are you and I going to dance
photo.
together?
I think we'll just dance the night away.
Ooh, it's going to be.
I'm worried now about, as we get older, I'm going to have to take care of you that you've had so many concussions.
Listen, I got about 30 more years in the newspaper business.
At least.
Yeah, at least. So
is that Michael telling you that every single day?
Yes.
You can retire in 30 years.
Right. So regarding the event, valet parking.
There is valet parking and self-parking, which people love. It's right
you got to
there
pay for it. You got to pay yourself.
55 Ponce de Leon.
But you got to pay for the self-parking.
You do.
Right?
Yeah, because it's also a medical facility. So
yeah,
you come in that main floor and you've got
and don't get
a
fooled.
wonderful registration area. Like I said, we'll probably have a little over 300 people.
Yeah,
we're more than halfway there now. We cut it off at 300 because that's capacity. And then we're up on the rooftop at Lennar.
Yeah, the site's beautiful.
We have not done this event since early January of 2020. So 3 years at this point, which is just incredible when you think about what we've dealt with, not only in terms of the pandemic, but just, you've got to give a lot of credit to healthcare facilities who have had, their hands full with taking care of
and they still
our
do.
community. They do. So, we're very hopeful that, listen, you got to be careful. It's flu season. It's cold season.
Did you get your flu shot?
I got my flu shot back in
a couple months ago.
I think even longer. I'm like triple boosted on COVID, thanks to our friends over there at Marco's Drugs.
Are they they're right here now.
They're your new neighbors next to Stunna's there. What a beautiful location.
Oh, they're doing really well.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Super visible compared to where they were before.
Yeah, and just good people.
They have great curb appeal on that facility. So.
But one of the great events is coming up after that. Burgalicious.
Yeah, number 11. Can't wait.
I think it's going to be this is the second year because last year I was out of town at this event, but I think the street's better, right?
We think the street's better. It'll be expanded to be, the full eastbound lane between Ponce and Salcedo. I think we've already got about 10 restaurants RSVP'd.
Wait, the east lane. It runs east and west.
Well, I call it's the north side.
Okay, gotcha.
But it says, you're coming from the east.
So the other side cars, that'll still
it'll still be able to
they'll make it
drive
2
on the
lane or
other
one
side.
way?
It'll still be 2 lanes on the other side. On our side, it really is 3 lanes because you have the parking as well.
Yeah.
The angle parking. So you have a lot of space. But we'll go all the way down to Salcedo. Like I said, we've already got about 10 restaurants committed. We capped that at about 20.
Who won it last year?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't recall.
Okay.
I know that the People's Choice was, I think, was Pincho. But my money's on Clutch this year. Although we want everybody to come and be part of this magnificent. I think it's Steve's year. He's due. At least that's what he keeps telling me.
Oh, well, he is.
He's got a new burger out that has a chicken on top of it. Have you seen that?
No.
Can we find that picture, Alex? I think it was just for New Year's. I hope it's on the menu. I think it's an actual patty with I think it's called the Mother Clucker.
They don't have a Mark burger?
I think every burger there is a Mark burger. I've tried almost everything other than maybe the one that is like impossible.
Right, the cheesecake there is very good too, by the way.
I don't know if I've ever had a cheesecake.
Very good.
Did we not just discuss that we're going to replace all these sweets with water?
I know. I'm working on it. Okay. Book club. Who's
We have Jeffrey Scott Miller, who's going to be talking about Master Mentors. That's on the 13th, so that's the lunchtime after. Those are always on Zoom. You don't have to have read the book in advance. And we're working on our spring schedule right now. And then, like you said, we've got a women's lunch coming up, which is our partnership with Nicholas Children's Hospital. It's on gene therapy. I think it's great for folks who want to look at kind of their, family history and also use genetic testing to help them make better choices in terms of their health. We know that women oftentimes are the health care surrogate and decision makers in the family. So it's going to be at our women's lunch. We have a great impact seminar the next day, which is on corporate culture. And we're not doing a breakfast this month. We're mirroring a relationship with our friends at Mayfair and doing an event on the real estate market. So.
Speak about gene pool and all that. Isn't that how they caught that guy in Idaho?
Well, he was going to be arraigned and extradited today.
Yeah, but how did they catch him?
They had some DNA evidence.
Yeah, but he
hasn't said a whole lot because it hasn't been unsealed.
He didn't have any criminal records, so they did a gene check and they found out he was related to somebody.
It could have been like, some people won't do those, ancestry.coms and things like that because then they feel like that becomes, in a worldwide database. And I'm like, well, don't do something illegal and illicit.
Right. We have.
How else would I know that I'm, 25% European Jew? I wouldn't know that if I didn't do
we knew that.
My test.
Okay.
2% Irish. Thank you. What'd you find, Alex? Nothing? Oh.
There it is.
Oh, that's Mother Cluckers, but that's not it.
No, that's not it.
I don't know where I saw it. It was Clutchburger's Instagram page.
So who's Willie?
Hi, Willie.
Who's that?
Willie is with WE Staffing, a company he owns. He's been on our board. He's the trustee of our chamber. Legendary. Leyenda.
Is he talking about you?
I think he's talking about you. You're a legend.
In your own mind.
Do you think this is the year that we should have a contest to name the show?
It's the Mark show.
No, I think that's too narcissistic. You already have enough narcissists with their shows here.
Right. Okay. What else we got? Oh, social media broke 7,000.
We did, and I want to congratulate Morgan and Christine and our entire team. We're not just on Instagram. That's for Instagram. But all of those are organically grown. We don't buy any lists. All of those folks have opted in because they want to know what's going on in our chamber, in our community, and of course, big picture. But bigger than that is that, we continue to work really hard with our other platforms, especially LinkedIn. So if you're not following us on LinkedIn, please do.
LinkedIn's a great avenue.
It is. And, people who are out there actively in the work space. I'll tell you a great story. I have a nephew who is a freshman at the University of Michigan.
Wow, who got their butts whooped by TCU.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh.
So Caden is really my great nephew. But I call him all my nieces and nephews. And he is my oldest brother's oldest daughter's oldest son. Got that?
Got it.
Oldest brother John's oldest daughter Heather's son, Caden. So Caden, got into the University of Michigan. He lives in upstate New York.
Okay.
So he's getting into Michigan as an out-of-state student. So that tells you two things. One, super bright kid. And two, Michigan really, really wanted him to be in their freshman class. So he is studying at the Ross School of Business.
Steve Ross, owner of the Miami
Dolphins. Stephen Ross, big donor, put his name on the business school there, one of the best business schools in the entire country. So, I had reached out to him right around the holidays and said, listen, I just wanted to check in with you, see how the first semester's going. Of course, he's living a magical fall.
Why?
Because Michigan was undefeated.
Absolutely.
He loved going and seeing them play football.
He's
not afraid of the cold weather because he's from upstate New York.
How big is the stadium there? 110?
It's 107.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he's living large, doing great in school.
Did he come
super bright?
Did he come here for the game? I mean, did he go to the game?
I don't believe so, because I think I was emailing with him today.
He would have said something.
No, he said he was disappointed that they had lost, but he was home visiting family. I think he has a lovely young lady who lives back in
the
upstate New York.
What's upstate? Buffalo?
Rochester?
Okay, it's close.
Maybe outside Rochester. Okay. I always say that because I'm not 100% sure because I haven't been to visit them up there. But,
why not?
You can go. It's like an hour a year. You can go and not be cold. We were gonna do that when my other nephew, and I were gonna do the Killer Bee tour. That was gonna go Buffalo to Burlington, to Bangor, to Bar Harbor, to Boston.
Or Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Is that a bee?
No, that is a bee, but that's in India. No?
All right. So, and then in February,
where's Bangladesh? Is that on the Indian continent?
Okay, you have the Tallahassee fly-in.
We do. We have our annual fly-in in person this year. It'll be February 6th and 7th, and we've got a nice crew already committed to go.
Who's going?
Myself, Patrick O'Connell, Adrian Nunez, Zach Evangelista, Jean Marie Ferrara, Maria Garcia. That's our group so far, 6 or 7. And it's still early, so. Folks who have been sent. Bruce Bounds.
Bruce always goes.
Bruce is head of our public policy group, very active. So
people don't understand how government works. We don't know how Washington works.
Yes.
If you figure out how Florida works, you'll understand about the House, the Senate.
Well, today was inauguration day for Ron DeSantis's.
He's in the last 40 years. He had the biggest win in the last 40 years.
Yeah, in Governor DeSantis's second term. People said that they were going to tune in and listen to his speech because it may give an indication of where he was headed on the national.
Right? Did it?
I didn't listen at noon today. I was having
busy
lunch, and I'm just trying to keep track of like 5 news stories today. Right.
Right.
So obviously, what happened yesterday in the Bills game, I was keeping an eye on what was going on in the selection of a House Speaker.
And what happened there?
They did not secure a speaker on the first ballot.
Okay, so he's trying to be the speaker,
Kevin McCarthy.
And who's the second? And who's the second person?
The second person there was someone else nominated by more of what they would say is the more conservative branch of the party.
More conservative than Kevin McCarthy?
Yes. Oh yes. Kevin McCarthy's from California. He's painted as a much more liberal.
Okay, so
Republican than some of his other folks.
New show name, Everything Coral Gables and More.
It needs snappier, George. Something snappier.
Okay, so go ahead.
Like I was thinking about a new event for the chamber.
Like what?
I love alliteration.
Right.
So I think about Gables. I think about food.
Speak about Gables.
Yeah.
Election's coming up.
April, yeah.
No, it's really not April.
Page.
It's really March. Early voting.
Well, yeah, with early voting. Early voting in the Gables, I think, is only 2 days.
Oh.
I think it's just a weekend before. I could be wrong. It could be a week, but it's not as much as early voting that we just went through in November.
A lot of people going to run for commissioner, I understand.
I think there's at least 4 or 5 that are pre-qualified.
Somebody told me the mayor has $1 million put away.
Well, the mayor had a really big fundraiser some months ago.
$450
raised a significant amount of dollars. The mayor's done a great job. We work very closely with him. So it doesn't surprise me that he garners a tremendous amount of support because folks enjoy working with him. We're very fortunate as a chamber that he has made, supporting
he's
focusing
done more
on small
effort.
business.
Yeah, he's done a lot of effort to be part of the business world.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of that has to do with that we communicate 2 or 3 times a week. And, I think, one, he's very good at, using us as a sounding board on certain issues. And I think, secondly, he's also very appreciative that those conversations stay between us. And so, I admire anybody who puts their name on a ballot. But when you do it and it's only a 2-year term, you have even greater admiration from me. Because that's not a lot of time to get things done and then be very quickly needing to raise money and run for election again. But we're lucky. We have a great group. We've just welcomed back former Mayor Jim Kaysen. who will be here
great
for
choice.
4 months. Great choice. You know, Jim was a lot like Mayor Lago is, in the sense that, where do you need me to be? How can I support small business? What's in your, on your agenda?
Some people
want really terrific.
Somebody wanted to have a special election for a 4-month seat or something like that.
I mean, there were a lot of different ways the commission could have gone. If the election had been, maybe a year away, that maybe would have made sense.
Now, one of the commissioners are not running up for re-election because
That's correct, Michael Mena.
Yeah, somebody introduced me
because
to
of you.
No.
Oh, who introduced you? Oh, me.
No, was it you at the event down at
Yes, Coach's Luncheon.
He goes, I know who you are. I go, I know who you are. He is working with the a huge law firm that's moving very quickly.
MSP Recovery, John Ruiz and team have done an amazing job in the Gables. We love that they're here in City Beautiful. And if you follow John Ruiz on Twitter, he is hilarious because he loves to really battle people out. He is the most committed and staunchest Miami Hurricane I think I've ever met. And he will go to the mat for his Hurricanes. But he does, let me tell you, he puts his money and his energy where his mouth is in that regard.
I met him, I don't know. Our boys are 1 year apart, so our kids compete against each other. But he took over this thing called the old Cleveland Indian facility in Homestead, and tried to make it a baseball place.
They used to do like winter tournaments down there. Mario Signorelli and
right. No, but he did a league there. He tried everything. John Ruiz.
Well, let me tell you, having him in the Gables, he works with, of course, Frank Casada, former commissioner, and of course Mike Mena, our vice mayor, and it's a great reminder that we have some incredible companies in the Gables. Some that you don't read about every day, and others that are in the news every single day. So,
right,
those are, I think, the great balance. We have wonderful partners like Bacardi. We have wonderful partners like the brand new Jaguar Land Rover. JLR's beautiful 540,000 square foot new facility right there on US 1. People want those types of assets, businesses, and jobs right here in the City Beautiful.
Have you been in Milam's yet? The one in the Gables?
I haven't. I sent Max Milam. I consider us friendly. I sent him an email right before Christmas, and I said, Max, congratulations on the new Grove Gables store.
But is it in the Gables or is it in the City of Miami? I think it's in the City of Miami.
In the City of Miami.
But everybody thinks
it's Gables adjacent. I said, but I don't want to go there until you're going to be there, and I want to tour the store with you.
You're right. I thought about it. It's a block out of the Gables, but people think that's the Gables.
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Max says, think about it. It's a family business. 13. There are 14 or 13 family members, including his 3 daughters, triplets.
Didn't his brother move down from somewhere like Idaho, Iowa?
I don't know. I only know Max. We served on a City of Miami Springs committee together. I found him to be so thoughtful, patient, kind, and really, really appreciated his contributions and leadership. And, I think it's never easy to run a business, let alone a grocery store, let alone one where you've got 13 other partners who have to decide, are we going to build? Are we going to renovate? Are we going to do something in between? It's very different, than what you typically see these days. It's a family-owned business.
Right. Impressive.
Yeah.
So December was an incredible month for the chamber. 19? Is it 19?
We had 19 new members, and really proud of our team. We still have some work to do because, by the end of the calendar year, we didn't quite meet the same number, I think, that we did year over year on the calendar year. But really, for us, it comes down to fiscal year.
Look how young you look. It's like incredible, Mark.
I'm so old. I am 54.
Look at the wrinkles I got.
This year, I turn 55, double nickels.
Oh, wow.
I can't even imagine what that's going to
I
feel
can't
like.
wait till I turn 55.
I think I'm already dealing with, some level of depression over that. So
life's good. Your chamber's doing good, and then we have
a great team.
When's the new chairman take over?
Sarah will begin her term in September. So
she's ready.
She is ready. We met in late December to go over some of her goals and what she wants to do with her nominating committee And she's helping put together this real estate event we have on the 19th. But Thad's not going anywhere. He's still got a good 8 months left to preside, and we're going to keep him busy. This is a busy next 6 months, and then
Good.
we're going to take a deep breath, and then the transition begins as the summer begins.
Fab Adams, the son of the oldest University of Miami baseball player,
Larry Adams,
Larry Adams,
oldest living.
oldest living. Right, I got it.
Yeah, Larry.
I think
Larry's a feat, but you know what? It's because he and Betsy have been together, I think, 70 plus years. They're an
incredible.
team. A really incredible team. So a lot of good things on the horizon. We couldn't do it without our partnership with you. Let's commit to continue to kind of up the ante on the format of our show here. This isn't just everything about Coral Gables, but let's take some deep dives every week.
We
into
did. We took
subject
it.
matter.
It was very emotional talking about the football.
I agree. And so, I would like to open that way. And if you have ideas or topics, send them to Grant or myself.
No, the best thing to do is reach out to us. We'll go to lunch. You got a good
By
idea.
lunch, you mean?
Anywhere in the Gables. What's
right.
that dessert place? I said I'm not going to have desserts. What is it called?
For sure.
Yeah.
I saw Antonio this morning. I picked up some
Is that his name?
croissant before our little breakfast with our new staffer.
I
I
can't.
try to think about those things.
I can't wait to meet.
That's part of something very important to me is that, we have 5 new team members, within the last year. Devin's about to celebrate his first year anniversary. We've got Haley and Angeline and Carlos and now Genesis. So we have to really, bond the team.
So is Genesis going to be at
team.
Morton's? Because I'm going to Morton's tomorrow.
I don't think she'll be there. I think she'll be up front, making sure that security is called if you come through the front door.
Yeah, I'm showing up tomorrow. I'm excited because I haven't been to a I don't want to say out loud, but I haven't been to Reconnect in a long time.
Did you not feel welcome?
Probably. I was going to so many events. I just said, no. But I think I'm going to try out Morton's. They serve chicken or steak.
I think you get there's 3 different or 4 different options of salmon, salad. I think you can do the chicken. Maybe it's a steak salad. You do a great job. Thank you, Morton's and Elizabeth. By the way, Morton's is participating in Burgerlicious for the first time in a number of years.
They do good burgers at their place.
They do great burgers. So, like I said, we've got almost 9 or 10 already signed up, which is great. Thank you, Angeline and Haley. And we're working on putting the finishing touches on the New Year's event. So remember, if you want to join us, Thursday, January 12th, 5:30 p.m. at the Lennar Foundation Medical Center, brought to you by Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, NCI-rated cancer center right here in South Florida.
CHI.
And they're going to be 50 years in business. So
Can't
we're
be
going to be celebrating them.
What's the letters?
NCI.
And how many are there in South Florida?
In all of Florida, there are 2.
Okay, just want to make sure you know.
You know what the other one is?
Tampa.
That's right, Moffett.
Pretty good, huh?
And there's one about to get its accreditation to be number 3.
Okay, before we end, you're emceeing January.
It's right along. 17th.
You are? What is that? Oh, January 17th, you're emceeing your protege?
My protege.
Yeah. No,
I think he's more like my mentor.
Your mentor.
Can I tell you a funny story and we'll close it there?
Oh, right.
So, first of all, David Lawrence, I consider him a friend and a confidant and someone I've always looked up to. Long before I ever met him in person, but our paths began to slowly cross when I got involved more with the University of Florida Alumni Association, and obviously he's a big Gator. My connection to Coral Gables when I worked at Switchboard in Miami, and then through the nonprofit world. And we both have an affinity, a passion for Abraham Lincoln. Now, David, served on the initial board that raised the money to bring the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library in Springfield, Illinois to life. He's got friends like Harold Holzer and others who are preeminent scholars on everything Abraham Lincoln. But I just like to bask in a little bit of Mr. Lawrence's glory. David is a very special man. So over the years, he will send me a book on Abraham Lincoln, even before it's come out, or on the day that it comes out, some type of reminder of, this aspect of Lincoln's life. And he'd just write in it, thought you would like this. So about 10 months ago, he called me and he said, Mark, you're always so gracious, and a thank you note. And you get back to me so quickly. He says, I sent you something, and I didn't hear from you, so I want to make sure you got it. And I said, David, what did you send me? And he said, it was in a FedEx box, and it was a framed gift of a gator that was given to me years ago.
By Abe Lincoln?
No, by the University of Florida. And he says, it's just sitting here in a box. I'd love for you to have it. So he sent it to me.
So it's going to sit now in your office.
It's worse.
What?
I couldn't find it. I never received it. I was mortified. I looked in my office, at home. So the Saturday before Christmas. So, whatever that was, the 17th.
Right.
I start putting together, gifts and everything. So I lost momentum. So my nephew says, I'll come over on Thursday when you're off. So that would have been, the 22nd. And we'll put the rest of the gifts together. So he helps me. We pull out all these boxes. And he's like, hey, what about this box? And he had come over and gotten his gift, which was an Instapot. And it had revealed the fact that there was this box next to it.
Right.
And I said, I have no idea what that is. We open it. It's the gift from David Lawrence. Somehow, when it got delivered to the house, it got put behind a piece of furniture. And
did you call him immediately?
I didn't call him immediately because I'm sending him a letter.
Oh.
But I had to think about it because I'm still mortified because it was not sent. So it was in a FedEx box, but inside the box, that was the padding was a FedEx box. It was in a regular brown box. So I wasn't even looking for that. Totally my fault. Could have been the cleaning lady. It could have been me.
Right.
It got put behind a credenza. So I was going to send him a note, apologize, tell him again how much I admire, love, and appreciate him. But I'm going to tell that story at the breakfast when I introduce him.
Well,
and bring him. I'm going to bring the gift he gave me so I can show it to everybody.
Well, we have a nice crowd coming. It's not open to everybody, but the few selected people that have to be.
So some people have heard the story. So George, others have heard it. Please keep it to yourselves. But I'm mortified. I'm mortified. And then I had another box that never showed up. This one definitely didn't. I reached back out to the vendor, and they're like, yeah, well, we sent it to this address, our old chamber address.
Okay.
And they're like, it was returned to sender, and we resold it already.
Wow. Well,
I got to get it together. That's my New Year's resolution.
Get it together?
Get it together, Grant Miller.
All right, well.
Is that the name of our show?
Get it together, or
Get it together.
What's Gable 365? What's that?
Like 365 days a year. It's like every day is the Gables.
Isn't 364? One day off?
You don't get any days off.
Oh, I don't. Maybe you do.
Are you talking about leap year, maybe?
Yeah, maybe leap year.
Leap year is next year. That's Gables 366.
All right, no, that's what we'll call it. Well, George, as always, it's an honor. Let's wrap it. It's another day.
It's another year. I haven't seen you since last year. Did you miss me? We didn't do a show for one whole week.
I did, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to see you tomorrow, twice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Wind Down Wednesday.
Come to Wind Down Wednesday early because I have a board meeting at 6.
Where?
So I'm going to back at my office. So I'm going to be there for about 45 minutes.
Wait, what time is it?
Walk back. The event's at 5.
Oh, got to get there. Be on time. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you've got a million things that you're always doing.
There's nothing more important than Coral Gables Chamber.
How about we commit that once a month, the show has no agenda. You want to call the show that? No agenda, no script, off the cuff. You writing all these down, Alex? Improv. What have you done? Oh, what have you done? That's what it should be called. What was the one we were going to call it to begin with?
I have no idea.
I said it at the beginning.
Let's wrap
it together.
Get it together. Alex, get it together.
All right, Alex. Alex has been our producer. Probably the longest one. We ran off everybody else. Remember, we had Howard.
Tommy.
Howard, where are you?
Tommy.
Oh, we had Tommy first.
Right.
I think you pissed him off.
No, he moved to the Keys. Got married. Got married.
Tommy, Howard the Duck. Then we had
Mike.
Mikey. We had Andres, Alex. I'm missing somebody in between there. Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. He's still around.
Julian.
He's still around.
and then there was Junior.
Oh, there was Junior.
Where's Junior?
I have no idea.
That is 7 producers. How long have we been doing this show?
3 years.
Folks, if you ever want to know what 3 years feels like, start watching these from the very beginning. I do think we're better. Our banter is
and
much admired and appreciated.
in 3 years, you lost 125 pounds.
Well, and you're drinking 50 ounces of Kool-Aid.
Right.
Drink the Kool-Aid, ladies and gentlemen. As always, our chamber is grateful to you, those of you that are members. If you haven't decided what to do with your membership yet, well, come out and join us. Come check out one of our many events. We have 2 this week, 3 next week, and all of them are designed for you, our members. Most importantly, one of the best things you can do for your business in 2023 is to help it grow. That's what we do better than most. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.